completed this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 4. Yes, this is a real copy, and I'm already bored out of my skull with this game. And Resident Evil 4 fans, Resident Evil 4 purists are going to be upset because, as you can see on the screen, this is the old classic, the iconic game that everyone knows and loves. All of this, all of what you're seeing is cut. Cut. Cut.
Throne room, cut. Laser room, cut. Cable cars, cut.
Cut.
Dragon room, cut. Truck sequence, cut.
All of what you're seeing is cut. All of what you're seeing is cut.
Throne room, cut. Laser room,
Cut. All of what you're seeing is cut.
there's more. U3,
Cut.
U3,
Cut.
U3,
Cut.
Salazar statue, still in the game. However, all of this sequence here.
Cut.
The cage room with the Wolverine guy. Just cutscene now. Just cutscene now. This Gatling gun room.
Cut.
This room where the floor comes down on you.
Cut. Cut.
It's not even Resident Evil 4 anymore. And people are saying, well, Michael, you're helping out in this game, Michael, you're just focusing on the negative. Why don't you do a reverse Uno card and come out of the woodwork, tell us what they replaced? Well, I can't do that.
All of what you're seeing is cut. All of what you're seeing, 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 cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, we are live. The reality of the situation continues to unfold here for this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 4. Of course, it's no longer upcoming. It's out. It's already dead and forgotten about, as this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4 has already quite clearly hit the bottom of the ocean floor. And today Nintendo pulled that curtain back unlike they've ever done before, bro. They pulled the curtain back and they've showed us Zelda Tears of Kingdom. And, a lot of the Resident Evil remake shows are coming out of the woodwork to perpetuate this idea that Resident Evil 4 is Game of the Year. Now, how can that be when you look at the new gameplay here for Zelda Tears of Kingdom and you come to the realization that this is going to be more than likely Game of the Year? The remake shows are in bed with Capcom. The remake shows are seething right about now. And the player count is dropping for this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4. And the game hasn't even been out for a week. The entire situation is, believe me, so incredibly sad. That I know and that I can tell you. And let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers right here on Steam for this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4, and it has dropped significantly, and I'm going to show you right here and right now what I'm talking about. 83,000 players. Now, that's still good. 83,000 players, that's still good, but it's not fantastic, especially considering the fact that this game has not been out for a week. And as you can see right there, 83,000 players already dropping very heavily for this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4. And the remake shows are saying, well, Michael, it is Game of the Year. Well, Michael, you're so damn wrong. Well, Michael this, well, Michael that. Well, at the end of the day, we knew that Nintendo was going to pull that curtain back, and this quite clearly is going to be a true Game of the Year contender, if not Game of the Year, Zelda Tears of Kingdom. This is Nintendo first party. This is still proving that the Switch doesn't need new hardware, because you look at this gameplay here and I was actually impressed. Now, granted, I haven't played the first Zelda game when it came out back in 2017 with the launch of the Nintendo Switch. However, with that said, from what I have seen here, some innovation is happening, okay? They're taking the foundation, they're building upon that, and they're doing so in a way that makes sense. And that's what they should have done here with this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4. They should have took the foundation of Resident Evil 4 2005, built upon it in a way that made sense, and maybe take things that didn't necessarily work, it could have been improved upon, and did so in this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4. That certainly isn't the case, as the reality of the situation continues to unfold for this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4, and instead the lazy millennial devs over at Clueless Capcom, they designed a game that was an all-new Resident Evil game inspired by Resident Evil 4. Now, we got some goodies for you here today. I brought a bag of chips, and I'm going to tell you what, folks at home. This bag of chips, right here, Pacquiao Haunted Ghost Pepper, right here. These chips are, I believe, 2 years old. So, as you can maybe see, 2021. These chips are expired. They expired July 12th, 2021. So these chips are expired. It's 2023. If you do the math on that, they're about, what, 2 years old or some shit like that? So these chips are expired. However, with that said, we might start opening them and seeing if they have any flavor left and seeing if they have any kick left. The Haunted Ghost Pepper Pacquiao chip. That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. All right, with that said, folks at home, we're going to wait for the folks at home to pile into this show. We had some connection issues earlier that were just out of our control, but we have seemingly fixed those problems, and that's fantastic. But that's why we had to come back, because we had connection issues. So let's go ahead and hit that like button. We only got 28 likes in here. It's going to be a big struggle today, and that's so incredibly sad. So let's hit that like button if you can. Share this fucking thing out, because we had terrible connection issues earlier that have prevented us from going live in a way that made sense initially. But look, again, 2021 chips, expired ghost pepper, but they are still sealed. So we'll see if these are actually worth eating in a way that makes sense. If not, it is what it is.
Thank you.
And someone coming through supporting the show in a way that makes sense. Wrestling Face coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate it.
My soul WrestleMania season, let's go.
It is WrestleMania season, that I know and that I can tell you. This Friday starts WrestleMania season. The whole thing kicks off this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for WrestleMania. And then I think they're doing Monday Night Raw in LA as well. So it's a big fest in LA if you're in LA.
Thank you.
World Pass donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Are you buying a Switch or just wait for Switch 2?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I just don't know. Are we going to cover, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2? Who knows? But we're going to talk about it now because they just pulled the curtain back in a way that made sense. So we are going to be talking about it in a way that makes sense, at least for today.
It's over.
And there we go. First name, I Steal Popular Names coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that.
Steal Popular Names for a like donated $5 through Super Chat. That vehicle crafting an item fusing.
I haven't even seen the vehicle crafting yet. I watched a little bit.
Nintendo has still got it.
Yeah.
And in a way that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm already seeing people complain about it, and here's the thing, they're allowed to complain about it. If I had nitpicks of this, and I don't have a Switch, I haven't played the first game, so I don't know what's totally new and what's, more of the same. Nonetheless, I haven't even seen the vehicle crafting. I've only watched the thing where you put the rock on the stick. That's how far I got in the video. So I haven't even seen the full video. We're going to watch it live and dissect it. And the reason why we're bringing it into the Resident Evil 4 Remake theming here is because a lot of demake shills are saying the Resident Evil 4 Remake is going to be Game of the Year. And that's just certainly not the case. As again, if we pull this right up here, you will see that the demake is failing fast. It's dropping like no tomorrow. 83,000 players. And I told you guys this was going to happen. I told you guys within 1 week, this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4 is going to hit the bottom of the ocean floor. And quite clearly, it's on that way to hitting the bottom of the ocean floor and remaining there until Capcom decides to do something with this game in a way that makes sense. But I don't think they will, because it's already out and it's already done. So 83,000 players, still great, but not really fantastic because it just came out last Friday and it's only Tuesday. So with that said, that's just the reality of the situation. All right, we're going to wait for a few more people to join in here. We had some technical issues earlier that prevented us from going live initially, and I knew that was going to ultimately throw a cog in the wheel here. No one is playing Zelda. The vehicle crafting looks pretty open-ended. Well, I haven't seen that yet, so I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know what to think about it. Couldn't care less about some Nintendo game. Then why'd you click on the video? Speedrunners are going to have a good time with Tears of the Kingdom. Well, look at the speedruns for Resident Evil 4 Remake. They're, go take a look. It's April. Why are you trusting? Why? Because we live in a cold climate. We live in Russia, okay? It's cold out here. It's never warm out here. You get 2 months of warmth, and that's about it. So if you live in an area where it's warm, you probably should enjoy it. We literally just took calls. We're just starting the show. We're just starting the show, bro. All about the money, huh? Contrived narrative you have there. At least I don't have a $50 membership like some people. Just saying, if it were all about the money, I'd have a lot of tiers on the membership, but I don't. It's only $4.99 to join up here. Devin coming through with the 3. Can't wait to put a stick on the rock. Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's get a 1 in the chat here. Let's get a 1 in the chat to wake people up. We're gonna dissect the Zelda footage, and then we're going to dissect some other stuff as well. People are literally drooling over Resident Trash. RE4 Remake is goated. Gonna gut cry, Michael. What?
Thank you.
Devin Gillard donated $2.79 through Super Chat. I can't wait to put a rock on a stick, it's over.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, I don't have a Nintendo Switch. Don't have a Nintendo Switch. Don't have a Nintendo Switch. All right, we want to give a huge shout out to KT. If he is in here, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing KT, but nonetheless, KT, happy birthday to KT. We want to wish him a happy birthday. So KT, happy birthday to you, bro. Not sure if you're in here, but happy birthday to KT. So if you could, wish KT a happy birthday. He's a real Resident Evil fan and a longtime viewer. Shows are out in full force. Yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad. All right, let's go ahead and dissect the footage for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let's go ahead and dissect this footage here. Do so in a way that makes sense.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. First, I have some news. Development on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now complete. Thank you very much for waiting.
Development is complete.
Many of you are looking forward to this game, and we've released a few trailers so far.
Thank
Although
you.
it'll just be a brief glimpse.
Big Boss 6568 donated £2 through Super Chat. She loves bear, 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 bear. Men holding hands, men holding hands, men holding hands. Woman breastfeeding,
Yep.
woman breastfeeding, woman
Yep.
breastfeeding, woman breastfeeding, woman breastfeeding,
Yep.
woman breastfeeding.
Yep.
Monkey, monkey, monkey.
Yep.
Chicken, chicken, chicken. Class. Thunderstorm.
Yep.
Thunderstorm, thunderstorm.
Yep.
Thunderstorm, thunderstorm. Monkey, bear.
Yep.
I'm going to actually play the game for you all today and show you what it's like. Okay? Let
Look at these
Like
graphics,
The
bro.
Legend of Zelda, Breath
Look at
of the
these
Wild,
graphics.
There's a vast world to explore. Of course, it's not
Look at
just
these
the same
graphics,
world
bro.
as is. It's changed in many
Who the
ways.
fuck's yelling?
If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll seek them out for yourself when the game launches.
Look at these graphics, bro. This is from
In this game,
2017
the vast
hardware.
world of Hyrule reaches high into the sky. You'll notice some landmasses.
This is 2017 hardware, bro. Look at this.
Sky Islands.
2017 hardware.
You're probably wondering something. How do you get to the Sky Islands when they're so high up?
Look at this. There doesn't need to be a Switch 2.
Oh,
These graphics are
something's
crazy,
falling
bro.
from the sky. Do you see it? I wonder what that is. Let's head over to it. We're almost at the spot where the object fell. Here it is. Okay, let's use one of Link's new abilities.
Yeah, you can fly up to the island. I've already seen this, so let's fast forward a little bit of this.
Surprising. Which one of them?
So you can go to the, it's like BioShock Infinite, I guess. I mean, where you can go to the different, I mean, I don't know how that game plays, but, you know, you got islands on top of the
I made it.
actual land.
There are lots of ways to reach the sky. Okay. There are several. Down for a bit.
And then they go down here. This is where it gets crazy, bro. This is where it gets crazy. Check this out.
Let's continue.
This is where it gets crazy.
It's there. This is a brand new enemy called a construct. We'll fight it using the branch we just picked up.
This is where it gets crazy, bro. Check this out.
Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch and we defeated it. Moving on.
Watch this.
We've now explored more of this sky island. As expected, fighting with just a branch won't get us very far. Also, this branch is almost broken. So here's another one of Link's new abilities. If we use this branch and the rock over here,
Look at this, bro. This is wild. Look at that.
we can stick them together.
That's what Resident Evil needs, bro. You should be able to use things in your environment, bro, and mend it together. You know, if you find duct tape in Resident Evil, you should be able to, like, duct tape like a flashlight to your, you know, primary weapon, or a spike to your thing, or, you know, it needs sort of, I think this is going to be a game changer for a lot of game design going forward. I'm not kidding, especially if this takes off. This mechanic right here, I know it sounds simple on paper, but look, at the end of the day, you can mend and mesh things together and combine things. Now, yeah, they got crafting tables and Dead Rising and shit like that, but I'm talking like real time, you know, like that. Not where you go to a crafting table and look at a fucking menu, you know, right within the game. I think that's a game changer a lot.
Hammer. This is
That's
called
crazy, dude.
fuse. You can stick
Yeah,
them
the fuse
together to
technique.
create new weapons.
Look at that, the fuse technique. That's pretty crazy, bro. And I think Resident Evil needs something like that. You know, if you see a door in Resident Evil and you can't get through it, you should be able to just like kick it open. There should be alternative ways to do something in Resident Evil. The damn franchise has to evolve. I got great ideas for Resident Evil. And I'm hoping that one day we see those ideas, you know, come to fruition where they evolve the franchise in a way that makes sense. Because this is a smart evolution of the franchise right here.
Weapons with various effects. Let's take on another construct with this fuse.
They're building upon the foundation.
We're dealing with two of them at once.
They're building upon the foundation. Look at this. It's literally better than Elden Ring. Holy shit.
The weapon's attack has definitely improved.
Literally better than Elden Ring.
The other branch broke, but this weapon has much better durability.
So they're answering the durability thing, where a lot of people said we don't like the durability thing. Well, now you can just create your own stuff.
You can fuse two weapons, for example.
Look at this.
If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork,
Holy shit, dude.
create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
That's amazing. That's what I'm saying. That's what Resident Evil needs. You know, if you find like duct tape or some shit like that, you can put something on your weapon, like a flashlight on your gun or some shit like that. I think that would be interesting for Resident Evil. I think this mechanic will eventually find its way in a lot of other games going forward within the next 5 to 10 years, to be honest. I think this is going to be a game changer in a lot of ways. At least especially for this.
From a distance. You can also fuse arrows with leaf to an arrow. Fuse an ice element material to an arrow and you can freeze faraway enemies. Very useful. In addition, let's see. There's a bird flying around. If you're out hunting, you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult. Apparently, my eyes can't track fast-moving objects as of late, so my shots rarely land. So, at times like these, here's an eyeball you can get by defeating monsters. Fuse it to an arrow and...
Look at that.
It homed in on the target. Let's try this on another bird. I'll just fire in that general direction. It's very simple.
Bullseye.
Depending on what you stick together, the fuse ability could also be beneficial for hunting. I fused a mushroom to my shield. Now, you're probably wondering if this has any use. Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom. Let's fight an enemy with this. I blocked with the shield. Okay, there's smoke now. The enemy's lost sight of Link, so... attack!
This is what Resident Evil needs, to be honest. I'm not kidding.
You can take down enemies using simple...
This is a game changer.
In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game,
Look at this.
using even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more gameplay options for sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands even have rivers. We'll want to cross this one, but swimming across it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat.
Charlie Mad coming through. Hell yeah, bro.
There's a boat around here. So, we'll lift up this log and attach it to a second log.
Look at this. Holy
Let's
shit.
do one more. We'll bring this over here and attach a third log. It's a makeshift raft. This is another new ability called Ultra Hand. Even though the logs are currently attached, they can be detached. Let's modify the shape of the raft.
Look at this, bro. This is wild, bro. I'm not lying.
Attach things or detach
This is
them like
crazy.
Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. We've made a simplified version.
I bet this was crazy to figure out, like, what...
However,
You know what I mean? Like, in terms of developing this.
We'll need something to propel it forward.
Because it seems like you could easily break the whole game by...
There's something here. Let's
But it's
try hitting
Nintendo.
it.
They got it figured out.
Oh, wind. It's blowing wind.
I mean, this is a beautiful looking game on the Switch, bro. They say the Switch needs new hardware and all this, and it's like, look at this, bro. This is crazy, dude.
We'll attach another one. This should make the boat well balanced. Okay, they're attached. All right, let's try moving the boat.
Look at that.
It's moving. It's sailing pretty fast with the wind from the fans. Since we added 2 fans, we should be able to cross the river in no time. All right, we reached the other side. In the most recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine. Those vehicles actually aren't in the game from the start. Instead, you'll be able to freely craft them on your own. There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game.
Look at
And
that.
depending on how you use your imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things and explore this world at your leisure. There are
That's
even more
it's like Just Cause now. You can just like,
Take this building over here.
well,
Okay, watch this. Look, I passed right through the ceiling. This new ability is called Ascend. If you're in a place with a ceiling, you can go through
Look at that.
to the floor above you. There are some restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere. For example, this place has a cave with a hill right above it. If we use the ability here, come on, keep going. Okay, we emerged at the top of the hill. In the previous game, you had to use stamina to climb a mountain. But in this game, if there's a mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up. Here's another example. Imagine you're stuck in a cage. If it's got a ceiling, you know what to do, right? Exactly. Oh, there's another construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are equipped with fused weapons, so battles will play out a bit differently from the previous game. Ah, it blew me away with wind. Looks like it's got some sort of fan. Ah, I got pushed off. Oh well, let's just return to the surface.
It is like...
You can quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this. It feels so good. In the sky, you'll be able to look out across the land. You can also search for destinations that pique your interest. Once you've chosen your destination, you can speed things up, like this. Let's dive into this river.
Underwater.
And we're back on the surface. There are still so many things I'd like to show you, but let's leave it at that for now. What did you think?
That's it.
Some of Link's new abilities were updated from the previous game. I'm sure some of you watching me play were thinking, wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too. In this game, you can do a lot of things just by thinking about what's even possible.
Yeah, there's going to be crazy concoctions.
There's still a lot of new gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule.
So they took the foundation of Breath of the Wild,
Thank you.
and they didn't...
Big Boss 6568 donated £2 through Super Chat. Nintendo getting lazy. Bear.
See, that's that. So, but if I said this game sucked, you would say, "Oh, you're so wrong, Maka. How dare you?"
Monkey.
How are they getting lazy?
Pride flag.
Why would you change your... How are they getting lazy? Look at Resident Evil...
Tengu. Woman breastfeeding.
How are they
Men
getting
holding
lazy?
hands. Monkey. Man dancing.
How can you call this
Bear.
lazy when the Resident Evil 4 remake is literally an asset flip, bro? The Resident Evil 4 remake is literally an asset flip. So you want to talk about lazy? Huh. The Resident Evil 4 remake is an asset flip, bro. So you want to talk about lazy, look no further than Resident Evil 4 remake. Because that's an asset flip. From RE7 all the way to fucking RE4 remake. 6 years in between. So it's the same thing as this. You know, when did Breath of the Wild come out? 6 years ago?
We hope you'll use your imagination to explore it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.
There you go. When's this come out, May? Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, May 12th. There you go. That's Game of the Year. Easily. It's Nintendo first party. It seems like they improved upon what was already successful and made it even better, and that's what most people are looking for. And it looks like you can get really creative there with a lot of those concoctions and make your own things. And that's maybe, just maybe, what this needed. So I think that is going to be Game of the Year. And the reason why we're bringing up Resident Evil 4 Remake is because a lot of the demake shills think that the Resident Evil 4 Remake is the best thing since sliced bread. And they think it's Game of the Year material, but it's already, well, it's already dying. Look at the fucking Steam charts here. It is already on its way out. 83,000 players here. And it had, you know, at its peak, 168,000 or something crazy like that. It's already down to 83,000 players on Steam. So that isn't looking too hot. I'm not saying it's totally dead, but it's certainly on its way out. And we knew this was coming, and that's why Capcom announced the DLC for. That's why Capcom announced the DLC for it. Starfield and Zelda are literally shaking. I don't know what that means. Well, I don't even own a Switch. Here's the thing, I haven't played the first game, so, you know, I'm not burnt out on it. It would be an all-new experience for me because I haven't played Breath of the Wild. Never played it. Don't have a Switch. Never had a Switch. So, are we going to jump in just for that game? I don't necessarily believe so, but we'll see.
Maja Jordan donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Starfield and Zelda are literally shaking. Losers.
Yeah, and they want to say it's an asset flip and it's just DLC glorified or something, expansion pack glorified, and you know, things of that nature. And it's like, well, what is the Resident Evil 4 remake? It's an asset flip, that I know and that I can tell you. It's the essential asset flip. Nothing revolutionary. Well, it doesn't have to be. There's nothing revolutionary that comes out anymore. There's nothing revolutionary that comes out anymore. Spider-Man 2, Starfield, Zelda. Yeah, there's plenty of games coming out. Resident Evil 4 Remake is flavor of the month, and that's about it. And you know, maybe that's all it has to be. But you know, these delusional demake shills are just crazy. These delusional demake shills are just so crazy. So it's okay when Zelda does it, but not RE. Yeah. Because it's fucking Nintendo. Like, they're legends, bro. Sorry. I mean, dude, that system alone is more innovative. Dude, you don't understand. I can't imagine it took them probably 6 years to make sure that didn't break the whole game. To start mending random objects together. Yeah, that sounds like a disaster in terms of playtesting and debugging and things of that nature. That sounds like a fucking disaster, bro. To be totally frank, and to get that right in a way that makes sense. Yeah, Elden Ring was, you just roam around this dead, empty open world and fight bosses that are recycled in dungeons, and everyone's like, oh, that's Game of the Year masterpiece. And this is like literally changing, like your gameplay experience might be different than what other, you know, people experience here in this game, because you can concoct your own thing. So it's, you know, it's about how creative you can get. And, you know, like I said, I think it's a great evolution off the first game. It took the foundation and they built upon that foundation, and I think that I think that stands on its own right there. I think that stands on its own. Zelda will get a 98 on Metacritic. Yeah, we'll see. You gotta call GameStop. No, we forgot to bring the phone. We forgot to bring the phone. But if you want to call GameStop, you can go ahead and call them and ask. Connection issues set us back here today. Hugh Jackman coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that. Hugh Jackman coming through. Can't believe I saw...
13 donated $5 through Super Chat. I can't believe I saw the RE7 CAV textures in RD4 to make.
Well, I believe it. I believe it. It's an asset flip, you know? It is an asset flip. No different than Madden. RE4 5.0 on Metacritic PS4. Holy shit. Really? Damn. That is low. RE4 Remake PS4 Metacritic. RE4. It has a 7.3 on PS5 and a 5.0 on PS4. Yeah, that is terrible. Holy shit. 5.0 on PS4 for the Metacritic user score for Resident Evil 4 Remake on PS4. Stalker 2, that's not coming out this year, bro. That's not coming out this year. MLB 23. Soccer 2's not coming out this year. Yeah, we're talking about the user score, bro. We're talking about the user score. No one cares about PS4. Well, you did enough to elicit a response. All right, let's go ahead and take some calls here and start discussing what you guys want to discuss here with Resident Evil 4 Remake, dwindling in player count and what have you, or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Why is everyone exiting E3? Well, I was hoping to go to E3 this year, but I mean, it looks like it might get canceled again. Seems like everyone's exiting E3. Ubisoft just exited. That's probably because they have no software to show for. You know what I mean?
Gary from the Vault donated $10 through Super Chat. Never
Spawning
played
doesn't
Zelda
mean you
game
care at
before,
all.
but
That's not
always
true.
looked decent. Nintendo needs to
You're a
actually
loser.
start making real consoles.
Yeah, I
again.
agree. I agree.
Imagine a GameCube too.
Well, you know, the Switch is successful. It's like literally the best-selling console of all time. Or it's like really up there. Top 5 at least, if not even higher. So I don't think they're going to pivot too much from that. So if they ever do a Switch 2 or Switch Pro or some shit like that, it's going to be very familiar to what they've already done. And I don't think you're going to see a breakthrough in innovation outside of maybe some, you know, a few new bells and whistles for the Switch, too. Gary from the Vault coming through with the 10. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that. Gary from the Vault. And Bald Lesbian following it up right there. Bald Lesbian coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that.
Bald Lesbian donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Zelda won Game of the Year with that trailer. Woman
Oh, yeah, it already
breastfeeding,
solidified
woman
itself.
breastfeeding, woman
It already
breastfeeding,
solidified
woman
itself.
breastfeeding,
That I know
woman
and that I can tell you.
woman breastfeeding,
It already solidified.
woman
I already told you guys. I said, I already told you guys. I said, you know, when the Zelda
bear,
trailer, yeah,
wolf,
we
lightning
understand, bro. Holy
showers,
fucking shit.
moon viewing
Look, I already
ceremony,
told you guys when
moon
Zelda.
viewing ceremony,
I guess
moon
I can't do
viewing
the show. I can't
ceremony,
talk here.
Moon viewing ceremony, moon viewing ceremony, woman breastfeeding, woman breastfeeding, woman breastfeeding.
I'm a loser for not
woman
being a moron.
breastfeeding.
Yeah, because you're clamoring for attention. Someone ban that loser in here. We don't want people in here that go into the business for themselves. There's too many people like that in here. Yeah, so I think Zelda is going to be Game of the Year. I think Zelda is going to be Game of the Year. Starfield's a big question mark. We don't know if that's going to release in a way that makes sense. I mean, that could be a total bug fest. You know, it could be like Cyberpunk. It could be good. It could be amazing. We just don't know. So there's a lot of mystery with Starfield and that whole thing. They've already delayed that, and you know that. But I believe that Zelda has a massive chance at Game of the Year here. Of course, you got Spider-Man 2, but they have yet to show that game, so we don't really know if it's still coming later this year, although, I mean, you know, the longer we wait, I really doubt that if there's no gameplay, then there's not going to be any gameplay. So we'll see how the cookie crumbles here. See how the cookie crumbles here. Getting a little windy out here, getting a little colder than anticipated. Starfield could be the next Cyberpunk, just Skyrim in space. Yeah, we'll see. Well, it's on Game Pass day one, so it's you need to get a jacket. Well, I didn't think it was that. The wind's really terrible out here. Cuts the temperature down. But I know that I can tell you. All right, let's go ahead and take some calls here. We are a little underdressed for the weather out here, I'll tell you that. Let's go ahead and take some calls here. Damn. That wind is a killer. If you want to call into the show, now's your opportunity. 818-824-4937. That is the number. Do not post the number in the chat. Listen for the number. Do not post the number in the chat, mods. Thank you. 818-824-4937. That is the number to call in. 818-824-4937. If you'd like to call in and discuss Resident Evil 4 Remake or Zelda Kings of the Tears.
Thank you.
818-824-4937. You won't beat Zelda. Well, I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so you're right. I won't beat it because I don't have a Nintendo Switch. Eat the chips, they will warm you up. They might. It's a good idea. All right, let's go ahead and see if we have any callers here. The audio is going to break, so you're going to have to turn your audio up. You're going to have to turn your audio up here because the audio situation is a bit funky over here. So once we take these calls, the audio is going to get drastically lower for my voice, and we got to even it out in a way that makes sense. So let's go ahead and take some of these calls here and see if we can get this guy on the air, guy or gal. Hello, you're on the air. Yeah, hello, you're on the air. What do you think about the new Zelda Tears of Kingdom gameplay? Do you have a Nintendo Switch?
I do have a Nintendo Switch. I haven't seen much of the gameplay, but it kind of just looks like they're just doing Breath of the Wild 1 again, from what I've seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's a safe route for that game. I don't think pivoting too much from that formula would be successful, to be honest. So I think you just kind of topple on things that make sense, and the fusing technique looks interesting. So I think it looks cool. I mean, I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I don't think I will go out and buy one for the game, but I think if you do have a Nintendo Switch, obviously it's a must-own, and it might very well be Game of the Year. So we'll have to see on that.
I mean, I'm looking out for it. I've always been a pretty big Zelda fan ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's good.
Yeah, and what do you think about Resident Evil 4 Remake? Have you played that?
I actually just finished my first playthrough like 40 minutes ago, actually. I've been working a lot this week, so I haven't been able to finish it until now. Honestly, like, I like it, but I think the story is like way worse this time around, and some sections of the game are made to be like way more annoying than they used to be.
So overall, 1 through 10, what would you rate it?
If I'm thinking just the gameplay, probably like a solid 7 or 8, but if I have to think about the story, maybe I'm probably leaning more towards 7.
7 out of 10, yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's better than the 3 remake, that's for sure, but I think I might still like the original more.
Yeah, the original remake, you mean?
Like the original.
Oh, yeah.
The original version of RE4.
Yeah.
Like the 2005.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, you can't beat a classic. I mean, that's like, you know, that's like a band re-recording their album. It ain't gonna sound the same. It will, but it won't. You know what I mean? There's plenty of bands that have done that too. Like Taylor Swift just did that. She re-recorded all of her stuff, and it's like, well, and maybe it does sound the same because that's Taylor Swift. But you know, there's some other bands that re-recorded their songs, and it just doesn't sound the same. Doesn't have the same punch as when they initially recorded it in the studio. So you can't beat a classic.
Yeah, you can't capture lightning in a bottle like that twice.
Yeah. Because I remember for Guitar Hero 3, the Cult of Personality got like re-recorded. They went back in the studio and re-recorded it. I don't know if it was just for that game or not, but it had that version in it, and it just wasn't. It was good, but it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't the one that everyone, the version that everyone knew. So.
Yeah, like it's solid, and it's definitely a good effort, but you know, the original is probably always going to be like the better version to me, and thankfully you can still get the original on like PS4 and PC and even like Switch.
Yeah. And hopefully a lot of people go back to, you know, new players of Resident Evil that have came in here to this remake here. Hopefully they seemingly go back and play the original. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be. I would have to find my old GameCube memory card, but at the minimum, I've probably beaten the original version like 23 plus times on just the GameCube. So it's
oh yeah, a lot of replayability.
Ton.
Hell yeah. Well, listen, we appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Hell yeah,
have
man.
a great rest of your stream, man.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right, if you would like to call in, 818. Let me see the number. Fuck this weather. 818-824-4937. Now again, the audio's low. I understand that, but that's how it has to be. Now it's high, see? And I didn't switch anything. So the audio's low when we get callers on the air. You're just going to have to crank it up because there's not really a solution here. I've looked into the settings and there's no way to fix that. So it just has kind of a mind of its own. But once we do take another call, you're going to have to crank up the audio, and I'm trying to even it out so you can hear as best as possible in terms of the mix. But the mastering is going to be a little bit low, so turn the volume up when we take callers if we do have another caller on the air. We can't turn the volume up, bro. I mean, we could, but it's going to be a non-stop fiddle session. Volume sucks. My phone volume is maxed out. Well, maybe I guess we can't take calls. I mean, I don't have to take calls if the volume is that inconvenient for some of you guys. You know, I'm doing my best. If that's not good enough, then I guess we don't have to take calls. I can close it right now. There's nothing that I can do to fix it. I'm trying the best here. You're just going to have to listen, and I know that's hard for some people. All right. Let's go ahead and take some calls here. Hello, you're on the air. Can you hear me? Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air. Maybe we fixed it. No, the caller hung up. Why would you call in if you're going to hang up? All right. Let's try this again here. 818-824-4937 if you'd like to call into the show. If not, well, my audio's at full blast and can't hear callers. Not much I can do for you, man. Change it in the Skype settings. There's no option. Do you not think that I've to see if there's an option for that? There's literally not an option, bro. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air. Hey, let me ask you something. What's that?
What?
I can barely hear you.
Go ahead.
Are you vegan?
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Are you vegan?
Am I a vegan?
Yeah.
No. I just wanted to call in. Listen, I wanted to say something.
Why are you not a vegan?
Why am I not a vegan?
Yeah.
Oh, I eat meat. I just love meat. I can't help it.
Really?
I love animals, but I love meat more. Yeah.
There you
go. I just wanted to make a comment on. I found out that the hello stranger, that guy.
Yeah.
He says the most annoying thing in the game. He goes, tuning up your weapons just suits your specific needs, stranger. It is so fucking cringe, dude. I just wanted to let.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Dude, the game's horrible. Also, Tears of the Kingdom. A lot of guys in the chat are talking shit about Nintendo. I just want to say, y'all give it a chance. If you haven't played Breath of the Wild, give it a chance. It's great. Tears of the Kingdom's going to be great, and I think you should pick it up. But
oh yeah, I think it looks beautiful.
To suit your specific needs.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. You have a good day.
Calling in, man. I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks fantastic. You know, people are saying the Switch 2 needs to get here, and it's like, clearly hardware is not the limitation. I mean, I think this looks beautiful, to be honest. Now, again, I haven't played the first game, so yes, it looks similar. I know that, but I think this looks very good. I don't see why people are saying it looks like a mobile game, and it's like, look at the art direction, look at the art style here. The frame rate's pretty fucking solid, at least in this video, you know, and you have all of these new mechanics that, like, I mean, imagine the game testing that this thing went through, the testing, the debugging and things like that with the views technique. I mean, this is probably, I mean, you know, I'm not a game developer, but I can only imagine that this was probably very hard to implement and pull it off in a way that made sense. So kudos to Nintendo there. Kudos to Nintendo there. Breath of the Wild is a snooze fest. Oh, now you're calling him a shill? I see how you guys operate. Breath of the Wild was amazing. Tears of the Kingdom will be even better, yeah. Switch 2 will probably be the introduction of Dunvo games on Switch. Well, they need to do something about that. Because, I mean, a lot of the Nintendo systems have been hackable since, like, I mean, I don't know if the GameCube, but the Wii U, Switch, you know what I mean? So, yeah, they definitely need to do something about that. It's pretty crazy. So you got the fuse technique, you can build vehicles and shit. It's insane. It's insane. Hold on, only like 15% of people beat 4% beat RE4 on Pro? Really? Well, I told you guys, look, it's an evolution. I mean, look, it's been 6 years since the last game, and I'm sure some people are disappointed because they expected a little bit more or some shit like that. But I mean, think about what you can do in this game. You can just build your own shit, make your own stuff. I mean, I think that, and they got the islands that float on the, they float in the air. I mean, what more do you want? Dude, here's the thing. If Elden Ring, well, look, the Nintendo fan, everyone's excited about this game. No one's not excited about it. It's just a bunch of fucking shit posting. It really, for this game, it is. I'm not bullshitting. For this game, it is. No one's saying it's actually trash. If they are, it's just pure shit posting. But, and I would love to see someone come out and give this game a 5 out of 10. Holy shit. You know what I mean? The Nintendo fanboys are rabid. And I'm not saying this just for the sake of saying it. I think it looks like a smart evolution, genuinely. And again, I haven't played the first game, so maybe if I had played the first game, I would say, well, maybe this is just kind of looking like an expansion pack, but maybe that's all it needs to be. When I bought Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, it was just kind of more of the same, but better. And, I mean, that's what Resident Evil is these days. They recycle and reflip assets, and everyone's like, oh, it's game of the year, game of this, game of this. It'll get boring fast. Well, you don't have to play it. If you think it's boring, you don't have to buy it. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Resident Evil gets boring fast. I don't think it'll get boring fast. I mean, I think you're creative. If you're not like a creative person, you're not inspired to build things or some shit, like it might not do much for you there. But I mean, if you want to go in and make your own little fucking concoctions here and build your own vehicle and weapon and things like that, I think that's very interesting. Plus, you topple on all of the new stuff that hasn't yet been unveiled. Well, didn't that character art book for this release leak? And there's like massive spoilers out. So maybe, yeah, Nintendo needs to. This leaking shit's it's just out of control, man. It is, because it's ridiculous. You can't even get hyped for a game anymore because everything leaks. So, and that's one way the internet really just killed gaming, is that, it's like, yeah, you can read about it in GamePro magazine back in the fucking day, or Nintendo Power or some shit, but that had, now you can just, like, look up the whole fucking ending already, and the game's not even out, and it's like, what the fuck's this shit, Exactly. Well, they're evolving on that. They're evolving on that. And imagine if they incorporated this into a Resident Evil title, where it's like, okay, you find a key. What if you were? I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot that if this really takes off and it's huge, and I think a lot of other publishers will start implementing this into the games, just for the sake of doing it, and saying, hey, we have that Zelda Breath of the Wild mechanic feature. I mean, imagine if Fortnite did this, like, where you could just like pull a stick off a tree and just make your own fucking thing. Like, that would be interesting, So I see a lot of other games just copying this, essentially. I see a lot of other games just copying this. You're okay with Zelda weapons breaking, but RE4 Remake? Because you can't break a knife in real life. Like, it is very difficult to do. It doesn't make sense. You can break a tree branch because that makes sense. And you can extend the durability by making, your own concoction. So the knife breaking in Resident Evil 4 Remake literally, logically does not make sense. Like, that is just stupid. Like, it is just dumb. What are the leaks? I don't know. I thought the art book leaked like a month ago or some shit like that. I don't know. Oh, yeah, KT's in here. KT, I see KT. KT, we gave you a shout-out earlier. Happy birthday, KT. Everyone in the chat say happy birthday, KT. It's KT's birthday. Happy birthday, KT. I just now saw you in here. Happy birthday to KT. Long-time viewer of the show. You were here watching in 2020 when we were talking about Resident Evil 3 Remake. Insanity. Breath of the Wild, the strongest sword breaks in seconds and becomes useless. Well, that's the old game. I'm assuming you can probably do something now about that and make it less breakable. There we go, KT. That's what we're talking about. How did you all know? Well, you know. No, I want Resident... I think they should do Resident... You should kind of just remake Resident Evil 7. Not per se Resident Evil 7, but, you know, first person, RE Engine 2.0, and make it where it's like what you see in the game, you can actually, like, utilize to your advantage, you know? You can, like, if you find, like, a glue bottle in a drawer somewhere, you can actually pull the glue bottle out and, like, you know, tape something together. You know, I'm not asking for a, like, complete total sandbox thing, but, like, I don't know, I think it would be interesting. Yeah, we understand that the throne room is in the game, bro. I've already told you guys that multiple times, but I'm just going to reiterate things every single fucking second because, yes, the throne room is in the game. Yes, we were wrong. There you go. But I have yet to update the video because there's no point. It's just a fucking song.
It's over!
Yeah, but Zelda's not trying to be realistic. It's a cartoon game, dude.
World Pass donated $4.99.
That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah, bro.
Happy birthday, KT.
Happy birthday, KT. Pre-render backgrounds. RE7 was scarier and had the hidden time. Well, and it also has Madhouse mode, and they should have included that in RE4 Remake to mix things up a little bit. I don't know. I don't understand why they take away features. Like, you know, that's what they would do in, like, Madden or some shit, where they just start taking away features. It's really ridiculous. And then they incorporate it back later on. Like, I could see if it was broken, but, you know, they should have included, like, a remix option in Resident Evil 4 Remake. The weapon breaking never bothered me because there's Well, now you can make your own weapon. You can make your own weapon now. So that's the answer to that in Breath of the Wild 2 here. Tears of the Kingdom. That is literally the answer to that. The remake released on your birthday. There you go. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I know... Crazy glitches in RE4. Yeah, there's a bunch of glitches. There's a bunch of glitches. There's a bunch of glitches. Tripping over new weapons. Graphics are the reason why video games are in the gutter these days. I don't want to hear about graphics. Well, the Nintendo Switch is underpowered, so they can't, you know, prioritize graphics. I mean, it looks beautiful anyway. It really does. I don't see why you would complain. I mean, it looks clear enough to me. I know some people are, like, anal about resolution and frame rate, and they want 4K 60, you know, and shit like that. And it's like, that's not really... No one cares. No one, you know, real Nintendo Switch fans do not give two shits about hardware. They don't give two shits. I mean, unless it's, you know, unplayable, they don't care about frame rate or resolution. That's like Digital Foundry people complaining about shit like that. Like, literally, Switch users do not give. They don't care about that crap. Just like when you buy an Apple computer, you don't care about specs because it's about the optimization. It's not about, you know, the hardware being that crazy. I mean, it is a selling point depending on what you need it for. But with that said, for most users, they're not foaming at the mouth over specs. It's not a selling point for most, you know, with Nintendo. Now with Xbox and PS5, that's different. You know, they just sell you on specs, and that's not interesting or fun in my opinion. It's pretty boring. I don't see any benefits in making weapons breakable. Well, you can make your own now. You can put a stick on a rock. Apple computer. I'm literally using an Apple computer right now, and it has like some of the. Look at this webcam. This is the webcam on the computer, bro. It looks like a fucking DSLR, bro. You know what I mean? It looks like too good. You don't need to see my face in this high quality. Now, if I were hot, that'd be a little different. But point is that it works and it's great. Yeah, well, every game is basically Unreal Engine at this point. The Nintendo hardware narrative is just social media babble. Exactly. No, I agree. I agree. Because I just said, no one cares. No one, you know, real Switch owners, true Switch fans don't give two shits. They're rushing out to buy this day one. They don't give a shit about any of that stuff. A lot of the people that care about specs don't even play video games, to be honest, because they're gearheads. They care about, like, fucking pixel density and you know, all of this other stupid shit. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't even care about that shit anymore, to be honest. If the game can do 1080 60 for me on PS5 or what have you, that's all I need. I don't need 2K. I don't need 4K. I don't need any of that stuff. You know? 1080p 60 locked. Boom. There you go. That's what the next generation should be. And then focus on other stuff instead of fucking pushing resolution. It's like, well, now we have this game and running at 4K, true native 4K gaming, which is still not even a thing in 2023, unless you have a high-end hardware, super high-end hardware like a 4090 or some shit. And even that, I mean, depending on what game, like, you know. So, true 4K gaming still has yet to arrive, at least in a way that's convenient. And that's crazy. Because I remember Xbox marketing Xbox One X and saying, hey, we have no checkerboard 4K and things like that. And it's like, well, here we are all these years later, and it's still not really here, at least in a convenient fashion. Have you tried the PSVR 2? No, I'm not big on VR. I mean, I have Facebook, Oculus Quest, and that's about it. It's cool, but not really, like, mind-blowingly cool. Attention seeking, well, that's nothing new in here. You can't change the core fundamentals. 1080p works for me. The core fundamentals are Zelda and Link, and they're in Breath of the Wild. PSVR 2, but it's uncomfortable to wear. Yeah. I don't know why Sony made PSVR 2. It seems like a dead end for that. Should be 1080p or 1440p. I mean, look, if they ever do a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro, I mean, I think a 1080p OLED screen or some shit like that would suffice. Because if you put a higher end display on that thing, it's going to suck the battery even further. So if they just lock it into a 1080p display with the latest. Do you like Chicago? Why? Are you going to buy me dinner in Chicago? Because I know a few spots, but I mean, I'm not going there unless you're paying, because they're fucking expensive. Cringe for the kingdom. Well, why don't you make a video and put funny and say the new Zelda sucks, because holy shit. I'm not making those videos, but I'm sure someone will. Are you going to take more calls? We have audio issues, and people continue to complain about the audio issues, and I don't know. Well, Sony has no software. I mean, we're still in the no software club, so. Yeah, but you have to go to the right pizza joint in Chicago. A lot of people go to the touristy spots. You got to go to the real deal. I'm not saying those are fake pizza places, but they're touristy. You know, the deep dish and things like that. It's like, that's more like touristy pizza. I don't know why we're talking about this. We're not in Chicago. If you want to invite me to Chicago and buy me dinner, let's fucking do it. Email me. I want to go on a date with you. Well, there you go. Who doesn't? Do you know how expensive 1080p OLED screen would cost? I mean, 1080p is it's kind of a low resolution in 2023 and beyond, right? I guess not. Waiting to buy Resident Evil 4 Remake till it's $20. Never played the OG, just started recently. Why not, Michael? Afraid of the Zelda fans? I don't have anything to say about it. I've never played the first game. I don't have a Switch, so I really couldn't make videos on it even if I wanted to, because I'm probably not going to play it. I'm not going to probably go out and buy a Switch. I was thinking about buying a Switch when they upgraded the screen to OLED. Actually, they've already done that. They've already put an OLED screen on the Switch. It's just not 1080p. Actually, it's Maybe I'm thinking of the Steam Deck. I think I'm thinking of the Steam Deck. I think the Steam Deck is what I'm talking about. But they've already done an OLED Switch. What am I talking about? They did that like 2 years ago at this point. That's when I was thinking about buying one and jumping in. Because it has less bezels on the screen and it's OLED and it's just better. But that's already been like a year and a half, 2 years ago now. So, and you know, they might they might roll out a Switch 2 soon. Who knows? Who can say? Thought you lived in Chicago. I live everywhere. In your head. Rent free. Free continental breakfast. The RE4 remake is insane. Yes, it is. It's terrible. Strip club lunch specials. Well, if you're going to a strip club that's open during lunch, it's probably not a great place. I've never seen that before, but I guess it exists. Zelda Phantom Hourglass was my favorite. Copium to the people that say Zelda was never good. Well, they are. Now that's just shit posting in my opinion. Look, I'm not a super hardcore Nintendo fanboy. I mean, I don't have a Switch. The last console I bought from them was a Wii U, but I sold that after it launched because there was really nothing to play outside of Zombie U and Nintendo Land, and I thought those were cool and stuff, but you know, and I think they brought like Watch Dogs to the Wii U and shit like that, some third-party stuff. But ultimately, you know, it's like I didn't keep the Wii U. I thought it was really cool. I wish I had kept the Wii U, but it is what it is. But I don't have a Nintendo Switch. Another limited edition Switch, no game bundle. Really? Oh, they put out a new Switch? Really? They put out a new Switch? Didn't know. Guys, I can barely see the screen. This is at full brightness. Resident Evil 3 Reimagined and RE4, yeah. Well, these games are already dying. Look at the player count. Let's see if it's updated. Oh, we don't have it on there. Oops. Look at the player count. 83,000. 83,000. Let's see if it's gone up or down. And again, this isn't even a week after launch. It's not even a week after launch. Yeah, it went down 81,000. This is the brand new one here. Let's give you guys this update. 81,000. Let's show you this. And right here is the new one. Just took it. 81,000. So it's going down. It's dwindling in real time, bro. People are not... I mean, you know, and it's a testament to had it had Mercenaries day one, had it had DLC, you know, Assignment Ada day one, I think there would have been a little bit more there. But unfortunately, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, seemingly. So less replay value. It's over. They just showed the new Switch in every video you just watched. I didn't pay it. No, that's not true. I didn't see a new Nintendo Switch. When did he show the Nintendo? I just watched the whole video. When did that happen? I didn't see a new Nintendo Switch. No one is playing RE4 Remake. You can't believe that? Huh, I find that hard to believe. I can. More than half the player base is gone in not even a week. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's a testament to how Capcom, you know, the replayability factor just isn't there. It's just the honeymoon phase. I already told people once you have it for over a week, you're going to be bored out of your skull with it, because I would know. I've had it for over a week. Like, I don't feel the same way about it when I first initially played it. You know, it loses its appeal. And the amount of cut content and censored stuff. What in the fuck is this? Hey there, mister. Who let that simpleton out of the asylum? It was literally in the video you just watched. No, I didn't see that. I was looking at the chat. I didn't see that. So it's available now. You can buy the Tears of the Kingdom bundle, I guess. Well, not the game, but just the Switch. Yeah, the PSP OLED themed Zelda Switch. Well, that means there's no new console on the horizon. There's no new Nintendo Switch on the horizon. I mean, if there is, it ain't coming out until probably next year or sometime later. End of the video, go back. I wasn't watching it. I was watching the chat here. You gonna buy a Switch for this game? I don't believe so, but we will see. If people care enough, we might go out and buy one. I mean, we bought RE4 VR for RE4, so. It's at the end of the video. Cool, thanks for letting me know 5 times. I kind of don't care. What do you want me to do, go back and rewind it? I've already seen what's-his-face on, I've already seen the thumbnail for it, so. Thinking 2024, 2025, probably 2025 if I had to guess. I mean, it would be too soon. Switch stream would be interesting. It could be, yeah. Could be. Input funny is just nitpicking. Been gaming since 2004. There you go. Really serious? If our will have full game in VR, doubt it. Why wouldn't it? RE7 did. RE Village does. What are you talking about? What's the next game you're getting? Probably Dead Island 2. Probably Dead Island 2. Nintendo said Switch is still feeling good, so they don't need... Well, they don't need to. I mean, why would you... You know... You playing RE4 tonight? I don't know what we're doing tonight. We'll see. I'm really bored of the game, though, to be honest. I'm really bored. So we might try and play something else. We might play RE4 again. I mean, I don't know, so... It really depends, but we'll figure something out. If you guys are interested in the late night stream, gameplay session. There will be a new Switch announced this year. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Why would they do that? It looks like it runs just fine on the Switch. I don't believe that they need a new Switch. People think that they do, and it's like, look at the Switch. It's selling incredibly well. I don't believe so. You should play the OG RE4 on Professional. No. No. Dead Island 2 looks like a blast after the complete disappointment Dying Light 2 was. Yeah, I agree. Dying Light 2 is just... I mean, the theme and the setting is really dull and boring to me about, you know, these medieval, like, looking... It's just boring. I never clicked with Dying Light 2 at all, and especially the... just the way, I mean, you know, here's the thing, Dead Island 2 is not open world, which might actually be, might sound disappointing at first, but maybe that's a blessing in disguise for Dying Light 2, or for Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2 is not open world. Dead Island 2 is not open world. When you didn't like doing gameplay streams? Well, I mean, if there's nothing to play, I don't especially care for them. I mean, if we don't really have an idea of what we're going to play or what have you, I mean, I guess we can install more viruses tonight and play some of these, like, obscure indie games that one person's heard of. You know what I mean? I think that's fun. We played Night of the Living Dead, the game. That was, like, it's crazy that someone made that, like... Play Resident Evil 7. Don't buy 9. Here is trash. Dying Light 2 dev team, okay, what did people love about the first? I didn't really like Dying Light 1 either, to be honest. But it is better than the second game, absolutely. I can play Dying Light 1 on the Dying Light 1's better, but I was never a big fan of Dying Light at all. I mean, even Dead Island wasn't like that spectacular, but Dead Island 2 looks like it could be fun, at least for the weekend, you know? The next Nintendo console will have VR capabilities. I think that's a waste of resources and time. VR is really not... you know, again, I think Sony sent out the PSVR 2, much like the PS Vita, where they sent it out to die. Sony always does that. They put out great hardware and things like that, but then it never just goes anywhere. You know, the PS Vita at the time had really good hardware, and it never went anywhere, so... I think Sony was like, hey, here's this PSVR 2 headset. Have at it. You know? They will probably never make a... I will be blown away if they make a PSVR 3 headset in the next 10 years or some shit. There ain't a damn way, bro. That shit flopped hard. I bet it sold under expectations, PSVR 2. I bet it sold under expectations. Because you have to understand that Sony knows it's niche, it's very limited. But with that said, I bet it even underperformed in that regard. Because, you know, everyone who shilled it, well, not shilled it, but everyone who covered PSVR 2, it's like, yeah, they had the honeymoon phase. And then once the honeymoon phase wore off, they threw that thing in the fucking corner. Now it's collecting dust. The best thing about Dead Island is the weapons. Yeah, there you go. You get tired of 2K23. We haven't really played it outside of the stream, so... But, you know, we had fun with it. I mean, we had fun with it. Download an emulator. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really into that stuff. If I'm going to play it, I want to play it on the actual hardware. I know that sounds stupid, and I know it's the inferior version, but I'm just, you know, emulating's boring to me. It's got no soul. It's got no soul. VR is a meme. No way PSVR 3 is coming. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. Wireless is never going to happen, dude. Come on. I mean, you know, the Oculus Quest 2 is wireless, but you play a demanding game on there, it lasts only about an hour. VR is just a boring 3D movie. Did the Oculus Quest sell well? Yeah, I believe so. But I also believe that because it was accessible. I mean, it wasn't... And when it came out, it was cheaper than it is now. And, you know, they you don't know how to emulate? No, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, we're going to probably wind this one down here. How long are we going for, an hour or so? All right. We're going to think about winding this one down here a little short. Stream here for you today. But we'll be back later tonight with something, Resident Evil 4 Remake more than likely, but we'll see. We can jump in between games or some shit like that. So let's give it another 5 minutes or so here. It's just getting a little chilly out here. Play RE7, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I have the PSVR 2. It barely has games. Well, that's not backwards compatibility. It's not backwards compatible, and I thought that was a stupid thing. I mean, I might have considered it had it been backwards compatible and had it maybe updated like the resolution of the older games and the performance of the older games and things of that nature, but it's not. You can't play RE7 on PSVR 2. You would have to go out and buy the old fucking bulky, gaudy fucking PSVR 1 that has like a million wires you got to plug up into it. It's just totally take callers. Well, we did earlier, but the I guess the audio issues are too much for some people to enjoy that segment from, so I guess we're just done with that until we can figure that out and fix it. But instead it would make a VR product accessible like the Oculus Quest is. Well, I think Apple would be the one to usher it in a way that makes sense. When Apple gets into that space, and they might be doing it soon here, AR, VR, whatever, probably AR, or a combination of both, mixed reality. But you know, once Apple gets into it, and if it does take off, then you will start seeing it come into the mainstream. You know, if it's like the next big thing, like the iPhone, then you could see that come into fruition in a way that makes sense. You have to get PSVR experience your favorite game, RE Village. Hell no, bro, I ain't playing that shit. Dude, I watched people stream that game, and they had 5 viewers, and it's like, what are you doing? No one cares about Village. Like, that is a like, the whole hype for that is so fake. It's not even funny. Yeah, you can't play any of your old PSVR, you know, titles, which is really stupid. That turned me off right there and then. I thought, you know, well, maybe if you could have played the old games, because then you have a bigger library to choose from. But you can't, so it's sad. VR Metaverse. But the Oculus Quest is enough VR for me. I don't even really use it, unless we're doing a stream or something. So it's pretty pointless. It's pretty pointless. But I think that's how it is for most people. The original Resident Evil 2, same mod, is unplayable because character models are outdated. Remake is better than Village. You should really do multiplayer streams. There's no good multiplayer games. There's no really good multiplayer games. I'm not big on multiplayer. Resident Evil Village VR, and it had no trophy support and no DLC support. Damn, that's crazy. Well, I didn't expect it to. I mean, it's, you know, the base game. Buying the Quest was dumb decision on your part, bro. Not really. I mean, we bought it to stream with it, so I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I've had the Quest since like 2 years now. Whenever RE4 came out, I bought it for that. And it was a lot cheaper than it is now, so. Quest is garbage compared to PSVR 2. Well, it's wireless, so there you go. I don't know. I'm not big on VR in general, so I don't really care. Now, if, you know, they come out with a amazing application for VR, you know, an amazing game or something, that would be interesting. I mean, I thought Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was supposed to come out to PSVR 2, but seemingly it hasn't, so I don't know what's going on with that. They announced it a long time ago, and they never have updated it. But that's probably going to be censored to hell. Maybe they couldn't figure it out in a way that makes sense. No, I didn't buy the MetaQuest Pro, bro. I got the Quest 2. No more multiplayer streams, bigger chance for gamer girls to join. Okay, dude. You can emulate on your Galaxy 8? Riveting. Did you hear about Ask Creed Merge being delayed? Yeah. Did they cancel E3 yet? Because it would be a shame if they did. Still says it's 74 days until E3, so, I mean, everyone's pulling out, though, whoever was going in the first place. There's a lot of hate on E3. I think, you know, Jeff Keighley loves to hate on E3. I don't know must have been some, yeah, Sega's not attending E3 anymore. Ubisoft pulled out. Crazy. Crazy. Well, I mean, I guess they can do an indie event or something. I don't know. Get a bunch of indie developers there. See how the cookie crumbles. Horizon VR was short and it's not great. Hard 5.10. Will you play a Star Wars game? We'll see. Not really big on. I don't really know what Star Wars is. Never seen any of the film. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't really know what it. I don't know the plot of the first movie. I couldn't tell you the plot of the first movie. Don't really. I know of the characters and things like that, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Microsoft is looking into acquiring Ubisoft. Well, they should. They should. Put all of it on Game Pass. That'd be fantastic. Not that there's anything. I mean, I've already played all of the Ubisoft games for the most part, so there's nothing. They just basically stopped making games. I mean, when you think about it, like, when was the last big Ubisoft game? What, Far Cry 6? I mean, Ask Creed Valhalla? Like, that's the last Ask Creed. Like, they just stopped making games. They stopped making games. E3 is dead. Well, I was hoping to go this year. The last time I went was in 2017. It was a lot of fun, but back then it was actually a big event. In 2017, it was still big. So it'd be much different now. But they might cancel it. I don't know. They might cancel E3 for this year. Who can say? It's a 73 on Metacritic. What is? Yeah, I already know what shills think about this game. It's a masterpiece. It's a pixel perfection iteration of the original. I don't need to hear it again. It's just the same rhetoric. Can't wait for Ask Creed. Ask Creed Brotherhood. E3 is deader than U3. Yep. I guess so. When do you think Sony will do a showcase? Well, when they have software to show for it, you got to have something to show for. Otherwise, there's no point in doing a damn showcase. But hopefully soon. I mean, if Spider-Man 2 is still coming out later this year, then you would think that they would have a showcase in store, and they might. We'll see. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Travel to my house. Okay, dude. You going to pay? Shit. I don't know where you live. What the fuck? I don't know who you are. What the fuck? Travel to your house, bro. It's fucking Jeffrey Dahmer shit. What the fuck? Revelations was the last good Ask Creed. U3 will be in the DLC, I bet. Probably. Returnal is great. Well, I bought Returnal day one, played it about 20 minutes, turned it off, never played it again. Same with Ratchet and Clank. Basically because of the reviews. Finished RE4 Remake last night, 9 out of 10. Cool. Wanted to check out Returnal on PC, but not for $60. They said The Last of Us just came for PC today, and apparently it's unoptimized, and it's like very demanding or something. I don't know. Let me see the reviews for that. Last of Us Part 1 on PC. Apparently it's like super demanding. You gotta have like, oh, maybe it's okay. I don't know, but people are complaining. Dreamcast guy made a video on it, so. But what does Dreamcast guy know? Last of Us Part 1 Steam. Let's see if it has decent reviews on Steam. Launch is rough shape for Steam Deck and Windows PC. Last of Us Part 1 user reviews. Single-handedly the worst PC port. Wow. Huh. Well, I guess they fucked up the PC port for Last of Us Part 1. Oh my god, the reviews are terrible. Hold on, look at this. We gotta see this real quick here. Oh my god, mostly negative. Holy shit. Wow. Mostly negative. Look at this. Yeah, pull this up on the screen. Pull this up on the screen here. Check this out. Boom. Mostly negative for The Last of Us Part 1 on PC. Look at that. Unbelievable. That is truly insane. So I guess you need like a 4090 to run it even decently, if that even. Who knows? Must be terrible. I mean, I don't know why you would just buy it on PS5. You want to come to my place? You mean the bench here? Sure. Come on out. All right. We're going to go ahead and wind this down. A few more comments here we'll read, and then we're going to wind this down. As we're going, guys. Oh, Jesus Lord. Fuck. If you bought Ratchet and Clank was good, you got Devin coming through, hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that. I saw the VA for the Merchant and RE4 sleeping in my apartment lobby this morning when I left for work. Yeah, sounds like it. They're making it seem worse on PC and incentive on playing on PS5. Well, I mean, the requirements were terrible. The requirements were terrible. PC bums complaining about their slop GPUs. It might not be that bad. It might just be that. It might. Some people just. The dead-ass truth is that some people just need to upgrade their GPU and understand that PC gaming is not about value. It's not about, you know, anything like that. It's for the elite.
It's over.
It's for the high-end club, and if you're not willing to, you know, be a part of that club, then I would go with console or at least the Steam Deck.
99 cents through Super Chat. I saw the VA for the Merchant and RE4 sleeping in my apartment lobby this morning when I left for work.
Exactly. It's over. Imagine making a 4090 and you can't play The Last of Us. Well, I'm assuming a 4090 would be able to play it, but who fucking knows? All right, that's going to do it for us out here. We'll be back later for probably some more Resident Evil 4 Remake or something. We'll see how the cookie ultimately crumbles, but for now, that is going to do it. We wanted to go through Zelda and kind of get people to understand that this demake is on its way out, which, you know, is unfortunate because Resident Evil 4 is a classic, and this demake is exactly that. It's a demake that was clearly just kind of flavor of the month, and now it's dwindling in players and things of that nature, and it's just not looking too hot, and it hasn't released that long ago. It's not even been a week, so it is what it is. We told the fake Resident Evil fans that was going to be the case. They didn't want to listen, and it's so sad. But nonetheless, that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, supporting the show, and we will see you later. It's over.